Yeah, welcome back to my channel. This morning we talk about the how to prepare the standard solution of the sample given. Don't forget we are also talk about the two samples. The first one is acid salt, which is known as the sodium hydrogen sulfate. And out there, many teachers don't know how to prepare the solution. So this will be a step-by-step guide to show you guys the secret of how to prepare a standard solution of the sample given. Mind you, from the question given, we are asked to prepare a standard solution of 12.7 gram of sodium hydrogen sulfate, which is being known as what? The acid salt. And note one thing, sodium hydrogen sulfate is different from hydrogen sulfate because this sodium hydrogen sulfate has effect on litmus paper. And the reason why we picked it is because when you take your red litmus paper, it turns it to, your blue litmus paper, it turns it to what? Red. To show you that what? This sodium hydrogen sulfate can be used as the acid. So it is called what? An acid salt, while our sodium hydroxide, we all know, is a strong base now. So how do you prepare it? Mind you, I will improvise by using this particular paper as the filter paper. So the first thing to do is that we have to look at the mass of the filter paper. So with this, as you can see, is 0 here. Are you with me now? So now, if you want to know, it's still not at the main point now. So if you want to know which is particular ring you are seeing here, so you have to move this to a particular point in which we are going to have a end point. That is an exact point that will show you that this particular value is meant for the filter paper. So it's that, mind you, I have to turn it back to me so I'm able to get a particular value for the filter paper. So I have this, I move this gradually. So it's moving. So now I have this now. So let me pick the first salt we have here is sodium hydrogen sulfate now, which is this. So I'm going to pour a just little amount of it, and don't forget that this is going to be dissolved in 1 dm cube of water. That is 1000 cm cube of water, which I'll be using this particular 1000 ml to what? To dissolve it here. So now with this now, I will take a little portion of this now, pour it here. So move it gradually. So I use this particular place now. So we have this. So you can see it's moving. To show you that what? There is particular salt in this now. So you have to get it now. You can see until this particular arrow you have here stop at this particular red point here now. So it means that what? You have gained your what? The particular value you are looking for. And mind you, the value for filter paper given for this is what? 0.7 plus 12.7 here, which is for the value of what? The sodium hydrogen sulfate given there. So we can decide to have what now? We're going to have 13.40 gram of sodium hydrogen sulfate. So it means that we are going to dissolve this particular value in 1 dm cube of water. We are going to dissolve this in what? 1 dm cube of what, class?
Water.
1 dm cube of what?
Water.
1 dm cube of water. So with this now, I can just decide to bring out my round bottom flask here, which is this. And mind you, this is not stable yet. So instead I add more to it. So as you can see, it's moving. So we'll shift this back to, don't forget, we are taking it to what? 12.7, you can see. Somehow balance, so add more salt to it. So I take a little portion of it. So it means I have to move it gradually. So now, looking at this now, I think it has gotten to a particular stage where we have to what? Turn this to what? So I will advise you, in absence of you pouring the filter paper into this particular round bottom flask, I will advise you to what? Take it to the beaker. Are you with me now? Then, these are wash bottle. We take a little portion of this water here. So mind you, I'm sorry, I'll be using my spatula to stir. So we have this now. So we have to stir until the salt is finally what? Dissolved. The salt is what, class?
Finally dissolved.
So with what you have here, so we take it back here. So we are going to what? Pour it into our round bottom flask, which is this. Mind you, you still have some residue here. So we take it now. We pour it. You still have some residue here. So class, looking at what we have here now, I think we have our 13.40 gram being dissolved in what, class? 1000 millimeter. In what, class?
1 dm.
It's correct. That is 1 dm cube or what? 1000 what? Millimeter. So this is our water here. So as you can see, I will decide to what? Pour into this particular meniscus here, which is a mark. So you can do this, you can do that. So feed it up. So now the next thing is we have to calculate for this, which is given to be what? 3.94, if I'm not mistaken, of the particular salt given for sodium hydroxide now. So now, class is telling me that the same way you did for this now, you did the same thing for what? Your sodium hydroxide. You pick a little portion, move this back to what? 1, 2, 3. So we have 9 here. So this is our salt. You can see it is labeled what? Sodium hydroxide. It is labeled what, class?
Sodium hydroxide.
So don't forget to have to dissolve this particular one in how many ml? Wow. I think this salt is. So class, mind you, because you can see now it is in liquid phase already. So now I'll just take a little portion of it now. If I should weigh it, we might not get our particular point. So let's try it. If you can see have it, you can see it's going. So that's continue. So mind you, looking at what you have here, you can see if you have, see, I said we have what? 9.4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, which is what you have here now. So it's moving. So now our end point, as I told you earlier, is that this particular thing here must stop as this red mark you are saying here, to show you that what you have a complete volume of the complete value of sodium hydroxide given. So now, how do you know the amount of this you are going to dissolve in water? Don't forget, as I told you earlier, that for every sodium hydrogen sulfate, we have to dissolve it into 1 dm cube of water. Then for sodium hydroxide, we have to dissolve what? 3.94 gram in what? 1000 millimeter or 1 dm cube of water. So with that now, we should be able to what? Get our value for both salts. Don't forget that our sodium hydrogen sulfate is what? An acid salt, and sodium hydroxide is what? A strong base. Class, I think with this now, you should be able to provide your what? Or to prepare the standard solution. I'm sorry, I will improvise because many of our round bottom flask is broken already. So I will decide to pour this in what? This. So mind you, I will dissolve this in 1 ml of water. You can see how strong this particular salt is. You can see the effect of this paper to show you that what? Sodium hydroxide is a strong base. I'm done with this. So the next thing to do is that to pour my water here. Mind you, this particular thing you have here also contain what? 1 dm cube of water. The same value, the same volume. So I'll decide to drop this here now. So we have this. So this is our what? Sodium hydroxide. And don't forget that we have to prepare the solution. The acid salt we add as what? The acid, that is going to be what? Run into the burette. So now, the next video I'll be showing you guys how to carry out the volumetric or the titrometric analysis, that is the titration, how to titrate step by step using the what? The acid salt and sodium hydroxide. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe, watch, and share with your friends.